And we all saw the latest college football playoff rankings that came out on Tuesday. Alabama bumped down from 2 to 3. So now you got Georgia number 1, Ohio State number 2, Alabama number 3, and Cincinnati at number 4. And this brings up a very interesting question, as our own John Ivory has conducted a poll about this, and you guys have answered the question, have answered the poll questions. So to me, the question becomes, do you still hope that this is a championship team? Can Alabama still be that national championship team this season, or have you become okay with the fact that maybe this is just not a championship team? Do you still have hope that it can win it all, or have you become okay and satisfied with, maybe this is not a championship team? And so far, 45% of you have said, 45% of you have gone, this is not a championship team, while 55% are saying, I still have hope, I still believe, I still think this team can win it all. I still think this team can win a national championship. And the reason why we're bringing this question to the forefront is, all season there have been a lot of you as fans, I don't know about this team. I'm concerned about this team. They don't have an identity. It's, every week Coach Saban keeps talking about, we don't have an identity. We don't know what we are. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we are as a team. We don't have the chemistry. We're trying to find the leaders, And all of these are questions that are normally brought up they're brought up in preseason. They're brought up within the first 3 games of a season. By game 4, you want to start to see some fruit, some roots, some progression, some chemistry being formed, some cohesion being formed, some continuity being formed, just something that shows you this is a national championship team. But it's been up and down all year. It's been high and low all year. There have been moments where Alabama looks like the Bama of, oh, there's Bama. And then there are moments you're like, where's Bama at? This don't look like him. Where Bama at? There's been those types of moments all year. It's even been, Coach Saban in his press conferences. There are moments where, he's got that fire in that press conference. And then there are moments he's kind of scratching his head and rubbing his face and like, this is what's going on. And you're just not seeing that total fire that you're used to seeing here from, Alabama. And that's why a lot of you look at, maybe this is just not a championship team. But then there's the group of you that go, hold on here. This could be the moment right here. You go out there against Auburn, you lay the law down on Auburn, you go to the SEC championship game against Georgia, you lay down the law there, and you're in the college football playoff. Maybe it just took them a little bit. The team young. It would take them growing a little bit, maturing a little bit, and understanding what it is to play to that Alabama, moniker. You got 2 sophomores leading the team in Bryce Young and Will Anderson. So young group, and we had to get this group to grow. So it's kind of just a battle of both sides. Do you still have hope in this being a championship group, or have you become content with, if it doesn't win? If it's not a champion, if we don't see a crystal ball, if we don't see a trophy there, then I'm cool with it because I just have not seen the consistency. I have not seen this team look like what I've grown accustomed seeing from the Alabama football program. Now, as we look at this here, with it dropping from 2 to 3 in the college football playoff ranking, this should provide, does it actually do it? We'll see. But this should provide that little inkling of fire needed to, hey, they dropped us from 2 to 3. The national people are already believing we're not good enough to beat Georgia. Some of them are believing we're not good enough to beat Auburn. You got the national audience going, Saban slowing down. Saban's on the decline. Saban is on the down slope. Saban is more so toward retirement. Saban, he can't do it no more. He can't win no more. He can't get the maximum effort out of the players no more. He can't get the guys to play winning football no more. I mean, this is the worst-looking Alabama team I've ever seen in the Saban era. This is the most worst-looking Alabama team I've seen since 2006. Like, this does not look like the Bama that we've grown to love, we've grown to enjoy, we've grown to brag about, we've grown to boast about, we've grown to see other teams cower in fear of, so to speak. So that's what's going on there in the national reporting and the national media and the national outlets is, this team, nobody really seeing this team win it at all. Nobody really seeing this team taking that step and going to Atlanta to knock out of Georgia, going to the college football playoff and winning a national championship because the eyeballs are on. This is Kirby's year. This is Kirby's best team. This is his best team on paper. His best defense on paper. Offensively, are they dynamic? No, but Stetson Bennett makes winning plays. The running backs make winning plays. The team makes winning plays. And, they look more like, old school, hard hat, take your soul from you and eat it, Alabama, versus what Alabama looks like right now. So that's the narrative from the outside. That's the narrative. But Alabama has a chance to break that narrative. It comes down to how badly do they want to do it. How badly do they want to break that narrative and be a national champion? You got players on this team that won a national championship. Bryce Young's a player that won it, true. Will Anderson's a player that wants it, true. Brian Robinson's a player that wants it. Phil Mathis is a guy that wants it. Jamison Williams wants it. You got different individual players that are national championship players. You got individual players that have that hunger. Throw Evan Neal in there also. You got individual players that have that dog. You got individual players that have that want to. But as far as just the whole team, the unit as a whole, that's where the issue is. The unit as a whole just seems to not walk in stride together. The unit as a whole just seems to be not pointing in that championship direction together. And that's what's created so much frustration, not just from U.S. fans, not just from the local media out there, but it's also created so many talking points and so many, advantages for the national correspondents out there. And even the odds makers in Vegas. A lot of them have, we know what Georgia is. We know Georgia. Dominant, marquee, destroying teams, ripping teams, taking teams' cookies from them, snatching the heart out their body. We know what Georgia's going to give every single week. We know what Georgia's going to give. Alabama, we don't know. 1 minute, they look like Alabama that we all see and understand. The next minute, we don't know what this team is. So you even got Vegas going, I see more Georgia winning this national championship. I see more Ohio State winning this national championship. I see somebody else getting it, not Bama, because we just don't know what Alabama is. We just cannot put stock in this team. We just cannot put trust in this team because we have not seen this team from start to finish, and even a full game show us we are that team. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing unfolds, but a lot of you still have hope. A lot of you still believe this team can go all the way to finish the year with the title, but then a lot of you feel like, maybe it's just not our year. Maybe just wait till next year. Maybe next season is the season for us, but we shall see how this all unfolds.